I watch way too many TikTok videos about tipping and tipping culture. And it kind of revolves around this whole idea of people going into restaurants and then not tipping the waiter. So the waiter gets on TikTok and makes a complaint. And then one of the feedback things that people say to waiters or waitresses is like, you should never expect a tip. Tips are earned. If you have a problem with your pay, go complain to your boss or go get a better job. Hi, my name is Levi Spires. This is the Tip You in the App Daily Drive podcast. The Daily Drive podcast is brought to you by the Gig You app. Go get a better job. That's what people say. And again, it's TikTok, it's social media, everybody's anonymous. And so, you can take it for what it is. But here's how I take it. People don't care what waiters or waitresses make. I know I don't. Do you? Do you care how waiters or waitresses make their money? How much money they make, how much money they made at night, whatever? You don't, probably. In fact, I don't care how much money anybody makes. I think the only people that we kind of get into our world of who makes what would be like an Elon Musk, a billionaire, or maybe some sort of athlete, or how much Tom Cruise made on the last movie or whatever. We don't care what other people make. What does that mean for us as Uber drivers? Well, no one cares what you make. They might be shocked a little bit. I had an Uber ride yesterday, a reservation where I took it. It was going to pay me $49. I was happy. But I knew in the back of my mind, this person paid well over $100. In fact, it ended up being like $130. Uber took a big chunk and then they claim commercial auto insurance. And I'm outraged. I want to get on this YouTube channel and just complain. No one cares. If I complain on this YouTube channel, the only other people that are going to see this are you, probably other drivers. And then we have our own little circle of people complaining about our wage. The truth is I made a lot of money on that trip. I made $49 plus I got a very generous tip from the passenger. It was perfect. It kind of got me from right around my house to the airport on an early morning. It worked out really well for me. I was happy, but I was upset about Uber's take rate. What does all this mean? I think the people that get on the TikTok channels and tell waiters and waitresses, talk to your boss or go find a better job, as rude and as crude as it is, disregarding the actual frustration of, I don't know, serving a table of 20 people and they stay there an extra hour and then they leave a $5 tip. And you're a waiter or waitress thinking you're going to make a $50 tip or a $100 tip or whatever. And then you have to do the tip out. And I've never worked as a waiter or waitress, so maybe you know what I'm talking about here. But people just don't care. In fact, I know I would rather people, like let's say my accountant or my lawyer, make less money, or whoever I work with, the people that are going to paint my house or fix my plumbing, I want them to make less money. I don't want them to, because it costs me money. I would like to pay less for new windows in my house. And I have none of those projects going on. I'm just looking at my studio here, thinking about the projects that I got to do. And I would love to pay somebody else to do it, but I don't want to pay them as much as they want to make. My fellow drivers, when I say I'm cheering for you, I'm cheering for you to find the thing that helps you escape the algorithm. Doesn't mean I'm cheering for you to not be an Uber driver. Maybe you do want to be it. Escape the algorithm. And I'm speaking on to myself. It's what I'm talking about for me personally. I feel under the control of a lot of algorithms. My Netflix recommendations, the next TikTok that's coming up, and God knows who, why Uber gives me the rides they give me and the price they give me. I don't know. And these are AI algorithms that control a lot of my life. Quite frankly, this YouTube channel, YouTube's algorithm controls which videos rise and get viral, which ones don't, and how much they get paid. And it's a challenge. When I say escape the algorithm, is not feeling compelled to take action because the algorithm said so. So for some people to escape the algorithm, it might be paying off some debt and not having to Uber drive at all. Some people escaping the algorithm might be just, like for me, a mindset shift. Yeah, I need to go out and make $100 or $200 in revenue, but instead of trying to fight the algorithm and just, you know what, just today, I'm just going to just do my own thing and not even worry about the trips that are coming in. Just take the ones that I just not try to beat the system. Thinking of the waiters and the waitress and they say, go get a better job. Damn, if you want to make more money, what's more likely? You, me, us, all complaining to Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or our governments, state, local, whoever, federal government, fix this problem. Or you and I learning a new skill, applying for that other job, doing the passion thing that we've always wanted to do. That's kind of like me with my writing and taking control. I want waiters and waitresses to make more money. It doesn't really bother me to some extent. And I want you as a driver to make more money. I want to make more money. But we enter into these jobs, I think with our maybe not our eyes open. Maybe that's not the right way to say it. I think when we first start, at least Uber driving, we enter into this gig a little bit different. But as over time, our eyes get opened to the problems and the challenges of it all. And we should utilize our agency. We are humans, most of us very capable in a country like America. I know not all the drivers that watch this channel are in America, but we all have the ability to take control of our lives and do the things that we want to do. Instead of trying to get somebody else to change, we change ourselves. I don't think Uber or Lyft or DoorDash or Grubhub or Instacart or any of these are ever in the mindset like, how can we pay drivers more? They're going to do everything in their power to pay us less. Legal, illegal, not saying I accept, I approve of the methodologies and the systems that these companies set up. My eyes are open to it. I know the game, and I can't mentally afford to get on this channel and complain about it. It's not solving anything. And I want to complain. And I think there are places to complain, like the Facebook group. If you go out and join the Tip You in the App Facebook group or any of the other Reddit thread or whatever, it's water cooler talk. And there's a little bit of, fun banter, like me saying, oh, look at that. I got $49 and Uber got paid $40 and the driver paid 140 something or whatever. Yeah, but I'm not looking for you in that Facebook group to solve the problem. This is more like venting, water cooler talk. And time's running out. That's what made me want to produce this today. The clock is ticking. And I think most of us are aware of it, but not that aware. Artificial intelligence, autonomous cars, robotaxis, Zoox, Waymo replacing drivers. Our days are numbered. I'll have to find it and I'll put a link somewhere here in the video. But I saw Waymo is now building 10,000 cars this year with, I think, Kia or Hyundai or somebody like that too, or somebody to build autonomous cars. They're getting rid of the Jaguar vehicles and they're getting these new ones that are better. Robotaxi, Tesla's going to build hundreds of thousands of these autonomous robotaxis. There's only really a few things preventing them from going nationwide. I think there's some legal challenges that they're going to overcome. There's some insurance challenges, and maybe for a place like where I live, weather challenges. I don't know if they'll be able to operate in blizzards the same way that humans drive, but it's just time. They're going to ramp up. They're going to build so many of these vehicles. They're going to flood the market, and then passengers are going to be very satisfied. Wow, I ordered a car and it's cheaper and it showed up right here, and we can look at problems today and they'll go like, oh look, a Waymo car went the wrong way down the one-way street. That humans drivers do that too. And then people talk about the price point. Well, yeah, right now they're just trying to get things started. Remember how expensive TVs were, like plasma TVs, and now they're super cheap? Yeah, that's how autonomous cars are going to be too. Our days are numbered. And so I think Uber and Lyft and all these gig companies are just biding their time, holding everything off until those artificial intelligence things can replace us. And I don't know the answer. I don't know the answer for you, would probably be the better way to say it. I mean, I don't know the answer for me, what's going to happen. I like to think maybe one day I'll publish a book or another book and, get on Oprah's book club or something like that. Maybe that's my way to escape the financial aspect of being under the algorithm. But we have to start working, you as an individual, me as an individual, to escaping these gigs as our main source of income. And maybe we've got 5-10 years, maybe 15. But that's really a stretch, right? Come on, that's really a stretch. First of all, I may not even be alive in 15 years. I'm a 52-year-old man. That's way too heavy. I gotta lose some weight if I'm going to try to make it that far. It's a serious game, the game of life, this business, and things like that. And I know, I get the feedback. I read your comments. Levi, you should be fighting for us. You should be. I think they want me. The people that make comments. Maybe it's you. I don't know. Make a comment like that, hoping for me to be like the rideshare professor or Sergio and Chris over at Show Me the Money Club. Love those guys, all of them. And I love their shows. That's just not my style. I don't think another content creator, YouTuber is going to fix Uber. I just don't think so. I don't think there's anything I can produce that's going to change those companies. I just acknowledge what's going on and I play the game the way it is. And I'm doing what I can for myself to not be obligated to work within the system. And I know it makes it sound bad, like, oh, Uber is this horrible thing. The truth is, yesterday I earned $150. I ended up working for about 5 hours. I think I drove 100 and something miles. I can't remember exactly, but it was something like that. And I'm okay with that. It wasn't bad. I do love the immediacy of the money that I make from Uber. If I need money today, I can turn the app on and go make that money. I do enjoy meeting the people, being out in my city, and the strangers. There's weirdos and there's some other things, but the people that I meet, seeing the city, being out and about, there's an energy to it. It sure beats working in an office all the time. So there's good things to it. I don't know. I fight the desire to complain. I do, because God knows I want to. It's it can be so frustrating. And so that's why I produce the content that I produce. That's why I say I'm cheering for you. I'm trying to show the world, the umpteen thousand people. I think we're at 20 something thousand subs. Those people, the people that watch my shows, I guess, or read my writings or whatever, the heart of the driver, the emotional side to it. Yeah, I do love doing my experiments and some fun videos and other things like that. And I'll definitely continue to do that stuff. But ultimately, I want people to know what it feels like to be an Uber driver, what it feels like to live as a person being managed by an algorithm. That's what I'm really shooting for, because it's not easy. I'll leave you with one final thought here. I made a video a long time ago about how hard it is. Like, Uber is one of the hardest jobs I've ever done. And people will say, no, working construction is harder or something. First of all, it's the hardest job I've ever done. I don't know about the hardest job you've ever done, or it's not the hardest job in the world. There are harder jobs than it. But I think it's harder than people think. I know it is. I think my friends who are not Uber drivers think I just turn the app on, I go out and I meet people all day and just have a little bit of fun and I make some money. Sometimes it's like that, but a lot of times it's like trying to beat an algorithm. It's like trying to convince a person to come outside instead of making me wait, dealing with drunk people. There are challenges to it. Potholes, speed traps, school buses that you're not sure if they're going to turn that stop thing on. So you're kind of creeping. Should I pass them? Should I not? I don't know if they're going to turn the stop. There's so many challenges to it, and they're all easy challenges, but cumulatively when you put them all together, it does make it hard. And it's hard because it's low pay. If we made a lot of money, none of these challenges would be a big deal. None of them. But sometimes when you're barely making minimum wage after all your expenses, you're kind of like pulling your hair out, even though I'm bald. Like, why am I doing this? And you want to complain. So let me wrap this up. Drivers, for 2026, I want you to have fun. And not fun, just like, I want you to be satisfied, would probably be a better way to say it. Satiated with this gig. Do it the way you want to do it. Don't feel obligated to drive another way because another driver says this is the best way to do it. Don't. You should take advice and listen to other drivers, but you are unique. You're an individual. You drive in a city that no one else drives in, with a car that nobody else drives, and you have your own personal needs. And you drive at different times. You have different goals. Everything's different. That's what I'm doing. I'm trying to enjoy the ride. So please be safe, healthy, and happy. Please check out the sponsors, Redtiger, Gig You. Shout out to them. Thank you so much for sponsoring the channel. Drivers, I am cheering for you. Be well. Bye.